Many Taekwondo athletes want a faster and stronger hook kick, but very often the problem isn't speed or flexibility. The leg goes high, but the kicks look unstable, weak, or uncontrolled. That usually means missing technique precision, poor biomechanical control, and the wrong training focus. In this video, we'll answer the three questions, and then I show you specific drills to improve your hook kick step by step. So, hi, I'm Caro, a third dan in Taekwondo with more than 17 years of training experience. On my channel Taekwondo Performance Training, I focus on Taekwondo-specific athletic development, mobility, strength, stability, and real transfer to sparring and competition. Today's topic, hook kick explained, from technique to performance drills. In this video we'll cover, first, how to execute the hook kick step by step. Second, the biomechanics and key muscles behind a strong hook kick. And third, the most common mistakes and how to avoid them. After that, I guide you through targeted drills to build mobility, control, and power in your kick. The first one, hook kick technique, step by step. Let's take a closer look at the technical execution of the hook kick. A high-quality hook kick is not a single action, but a sequence of coordinated phases. Speed and power only appear when each phase is executed with control and correct timing. The first one, the chamber. It's the initial setup. The hook kick begins with a control chamber. Lift the knee high and slightly across the body, not straight forward. Key points: keep the pelvis stable. Maintain a tall upper body. Engage the core to prevent unnecessary movement in your spine or your hip. This phase defines the direction and efficiency of the kick. Second one, rotation of the supporting leg. Before the kicking leg accelerates, the supporting foot rotates backward. This allows the hip to rotate freely and safely. Why this matters? Reduces stress on the knee, enables full hip rotation, creates a base for speed and power. Without this rotation, the hook kick becomes restricted and unstable. Third one, the internal rotation of the chamber knee. As hip rotation increases, chamber knee moves slightly downwards and inward. This internal rotation aligns the leg with a correct kick trajectory. The important cues are a small controlled movement, not collapsing or dropping of the knee, and the hip remains the main driver. This phase sets up the optimal angle for acceleration. The fourth, the leg extension, is the acceleration phase, the preparation for the kick. The leg begins to extend. The key elements are smooth knee extension, and the leg follows a curved path, not a straight line. Speed increases, but no impact yet. Power is still being generated through hip rotation, while the body prepares for the actual strike. The fifth, the hip extension, recoil, and strike. It's a contact phase. The actual strike happens here as the hip reaches full extension. The foot connects with the target while the leg is already being pulled back. The key details. First one is the hip extension and recoil happen almost simultaneously. The striking surface is usually the heel or the ball of the foot. The kick rips through the target, not pushes it. When you have the right timing, it creates maximum speed, efficient force transfer, minimal stress on the joints. Strike is sharp, fast, and controlled, not forced. The last one is the back to chamber and fighting stance. After the strike, the leg returns to the chamber position. The core stays engaged and the supporting leg remains stable. From here, you can control the deceleration, place the foot down quickly but under control, and return smoothly to your fighting stance, so you can act again. It's important for fast recovery and fast and strong follow-up techniques. In summary, a good hook kick is not defined by speed alone. It is defined by timing, coordination, and control. The strike does not happen during the leg extension. It happens when hip extension, recoil, and contact come together. Master this sequence and your hook kick will become faster, cleaner, and far more powerful. So the second question was about the biomechanics and key muscles. From a biomechanical perspective, the hook kick is a rotational movement. The main drivers are hip rotation and extension, the core stabilization, and the single leg stability on the supporting leg. The key muscles are first hip and glutes. So the gluteus maximus supports hip extension and power. The gluteus medius and minimus stabilize the pelvis and are important for the abduction of the leg. The second one, the deep hip rotators. They control internal and external rotation during the kick, and they guide the kick path and timing. The quadriceps, and especially the rectus femoral, are responsible for knee extension during the strike and hip flexion for the chamber position. The hamstrings are crucial for braking and recoil. They protect the knee and hip during deceleration. And last one, the core, especially the oblique. They transfer force between upper and lower body and maintain the balance during rotation. They are important for the anti-rotation movement. A strong hook kick is never just a leg movement. It's a full body action built on anti-rotation, hip extension, and stability. So the third question was about the common mistakes and why they kill your hook kick. Here are the most common mistakes I see when athletes perform the hook kick, and more importantly, what actually happens when you make them. First one is skipping the chamber and swinging the leg. Many athletes skip a proper chamber and simply swing the leg around. When you do this, the kick loses structure, the movement becomes unpredictable, and you rely on momentum instead of control. So without a clean chamber, you can't create hip rotation, which leads to less speed, less power, and poor accuracy. Second one is leaning the upper body instead of rotating the hip. Another very common mistake is leaning the upper body to generate height. What happens here? The center of mass shifts out of alignment, you lose balance on the supporting leg, and the force leaks through the spine instead of being transferred into the kick. This makes the kick look unstable and weak, and increases stress on the lower back and hips. Third one, the core collapses and dropping the upper body. If the core collapses during the kick, the entire chain breaks down. As a result, the rotation slows down, the power cannot be transferred efficiently, and control in the end position is lost. A weak or disengaged core means the kick has no solid base. It's leading to instability and reduced striking efficiency. Fourth one, no active and fast recoil, letting the leg drop. Many athletes focus only on strike and forget about the recoil. If the leg just drops after contact, the retraction time for the next movement increases. Defensive readiness is lost, and joint stress rises due to uncontrolled deceleration. The active recoil is essential for speed, safety, and follow-up techniques. The fifth, the missing hip extension. Without a full hip extension, the hook kick never reaches its full potential. This leads to reduced speed at the moment of contact, less force transfer into the target, and an overall flat or powerless kick. The hip is engine of the hook kick. If it doesn't extend, the kick can't accelerate properly. And the sixth one, holding the leg in the air instead of recovering fast. If you're holding the leg in the air after the kick, might look controlled, but in reality, it's often the opposite. What happens? The energy is wasted, the balance is compromised, and you lose the ability to move or defend quickly. A good hook kick finishes with a fast, controlled return to the ground and your fighting stance, not with unnecessary static holding. Why these mistakes matters. All of these errors are reducing speed, power, and precision, disrupt timing and balance, and significantly increase the risk of injury. The solution is not more stretching and not more repetitions. The real fix is a better mobility in the right joints and in the end range, a stronger control through the core and hips, and targeted strength in the positions that matter. That's exactly what the upcoming drills are designed to build. So, the extra of this video. My favorite performance drills which building the hook kick. So now let's move to the drills that fix these problems. Drill number 1, the hip car to extension. It builds an active hip control through the full range of motion and focus on slow controlled movement with a stable spine while extending the hip. Second drill, the side plank hook kick. It combines core stability with the hook kick motion and improves force transfer and core stability. So you can learn the hook kick mechanics without using balance and supporting leg stability. The third drill, the slow hook kick. It's an extreme tempo control movement, and if you can control the kick slowly, you can control it when you move up to more speed. The fourth drill, the wall supported hook kick, or other supports like a box I use in this video. It reduces balance, demands to focus purely on technique and kick path. So you can use what you learned in the technique part without concentrating on the balance and the other stabilizers. Drill number 5, the explosive single leg hip thrust on a box. So this develops explosive hip extension and power while using the hamstrings to recall the leg a little bit. And you learn this simultaneously movement from hip extension and leg flexion by using the glutes and the hamstrings at the same time. The drill number 6, the hamstring slides. Really don't like this. It's really hard. It trains eccentric hamstring stance for braking and injury prevention in your knees and hips. You can do it with a single leg slide, but this is really hard. I get maybe 1 or 2 of them in a row. As a 7th drill, the hook hold and shifting it right and left. So it builds end range control and stability in the kick position, and you are forced to use your hip extension to go beyond your body with a straight leg. And you have to use the quadriceps to bend your hip when going forward. And the last one, it's for deceleration. It's drill number 8, the hamstring deceleration. This one you can do also single leg. It's a final layer of eccentric control for safe and fast kicks. So you go in a hip thrust position and then you let your legs drop in full extension and stop on the ground while keeping your hip upwards and don't touch the ground. So the final summary. A strong hook kick is not built by speed alone. It's a result of clean technique, efficient rotational biomechanics, active mobility and control, and explosive power combined with safe deceleration. If one of these elements is missing, the kick loses stability, precision, and/or power. When you train these drills constantly, you're not just improving flexibility or strength. You're building control in every phase of the movement. And that's what makes a difference. Your hook kick becomes faster, more stable, more precise, and far more reliable under pressure. Master these foundations, train with intention, and the speed will follow naturally. So if you want follow-along workouts, structured progressions, or kick-specific performance plans, subscribe to my channel and check out the next videos. Stay patient, listen to your body, and trust the work we are putting in together. I'm looking forward to the next video with you this coming Sunday. Until then, ciao ciao!